What up, y'all? You already know what time it is. Hit that like, subscribe, and post notification bell for me. All right, so I'm about to help y'all out once again. Even though you don't do shit for me. I'm just kidding. All right. So, to emphasize again that clean nutrition, there's no requirement for it to suck. All right, you don't have to torture yourself with bland, booty ass foods that aren't fun to eat. Now, granted, I'm pretty easy to please, so it doesn't take a lot. But I do like to get kind of creative in the kitchen. So, what I'm going to offer to you now is my version of teriyaki beef. And the only thing that's close to the original recipe, I think, is the beef and the rice. So, I whip up my jasmine rice in this handy dandy Instapot. Perfect. And then, all right, let me back up and say this. The quality of this recipe is dependent on one of the ingredients, and that ingredient being your meat. The quality of the beef that you purchase and choose to use in this recipe is going to highly impact the taste and quality of this meal. So what we get is the top sirloin pack of steak from Costco. I don't know if it's a Kirkland brand or not, but this is the rest of the recipe. So I found this brown sugar alternative at Food Pavilion, and I'm super stoked on it. It's called Swerve, 0 calorie. That's all I need to know about it. Plant-based. That never really makes a difference for me. For some of you, it might. So to taste, I will add that to my diced up or cubed up top sirloin in my handy dandy, what is that, a Lodge iron skillet. I don't cook any red meat in anything else but my iron skillet. I'll add the Swerve to taste, somewhere usually around 2 heaping tablespoons per pound, and I typically cook up at least 2 pounds at a time, just because I'm weird about protein sources in the fridge and getting sick and all that. So I'll add that directly to the steak in the skillet. No water. I don't choose to use any water. You might. I don't. I just let the naturally occurring waters and fats in the steak dissolve it and do the rest of the magic for me. So add that. This is where you're gonna get the biggest kick of your teriyaki flavor, and that's gonna be from your soy sauce. And this is like 10 calories, which is pretty minimal. A little goes a long way. You don't need a lot. Flavor that to taste as well. And for those of you, if you're like me, you like it a little on the salty, savory side, then I will add a little pink Himalayan sea salt to the big batch of mix. Again, I don't add any water. I'll cook it until it's just about medium rare, and then I'll turn the heat off, reduce the heat to nothing, and just let it cook off naturally the rest of the way. That keeps it nice and tender, just the way I like it. So I really want to stress, don't buy cheap cuts of meat and think that you're going to be satisfied with this recipe, because it's going to ruin it. You're going to not want to eat it. It's going to suck. Tough, chewy meats like a tri-tip or anything like that are not going to cut it. They're going to be nasty, and you're going to have low adherence to your nutrition plan. From there, I'll just add whatever my programming calls for, which is now a cup and a half of white rice. I use jasmine rice right now, and I'll waffle back and forth between jasmine and regular white rice, just, keeping shit interesting. Again, like, I'm really easy to please, but all right, let me go over this recipe one more time. So the top sirloin pack from Costco, Swerve brown 0 calorie sweetener, soy sauce of your choice, pink Himalayan sea salt. I add it to taste to about 2 pounds at a time. Like I said, I cube it up with scissors in the skillet, trim off any excess fat. The pack doesn't come with a lot of fat on it. That pack's pretty lean to begin with. Final tip at the end, all the fats that cook off, that's not for you. I know it tastes good and you want to add a little couple spoonfuls to your meal. Don't do it. Don't add it to your meal prep tote and put that in the fridge and think you're gonna let that just marinate. leave it in the skillet. It may feel wasteful. Trust me, you want to keep fats low. This is gonna help you out in the long run. All right, you're welcome. Buy the cook, buy the food, cook the food, eat the food. Peace, y'all.